What's the deal with black people and the colour blue? I'm really interested in reading Imani Perry's Black in Blues, a history of blue in black arts and storytelling. Generally, we understand blue to represent hope, life, melancholy, and heartache. It can go from the positive all the way to the negative. I think the first place I encountered blue in black art was in Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. There's a story about a young black girl who wants nothing more than to have bright blue eyes like her white counterparts. She would do anything to get away from her blackness, even if that means turning herself mad by wishing for something totally unnatural to her body. She sees blue as an escape. Morrison takes it to the extreme. Instead of blue being in harmony with black, it is placed as the opposite, this bright light blue of white eyes. The girl wants to see the world not through her brown eyes, not be in the perspective of a black girl, but in the perspective of a white girl, and live a much lighter life, a life free of violence as she sees it, free of the kosh of her blackness. Then you also have famous paintings like Annie Lee's Blue Monday. And this is a painting that I think many of us will recognize. Blue Monday shows a faceless figure, a black woman, maybe getting ready for work. We can all recognize this posture of tiredness and exhaustion. It just keeps on keeping on. And I think it's really interesting that her blue world hasn't really developed an identity outside of who she is in the outside world. So the blue here definitely represents melancholy and tiredness and heartache, being removed from yourself, maybe being a lady in waiting to be activated by the light of the outside world and instructions from the white world. Then you have blue as an emancipatory space. In River Solomon the Deep, we get a fantasy novella of what happened to enslaved Africans who jumped overboard. They were able to make a new civilization in the deep ocean. Here they have turned into mer people, have their own moral compass, their own way of dealing with harmful memories. We have a lot of philosophical questions. Blue becomes a channel into fantasy, into imagining a different result for black people. And then you have things like blues music, which started in the Mississippi South. I think we can see blue here represent the river movement, the kind of powering of the plantation economy. You have this distinction between the different uses of water where people decide to travel or stay. So blue musicians like Bessie Smith would make deep roots where they lived in Mississippi and build families. They become matriarchal figures, whereas men like Louis Armstrong would travel upstream to Memphis, to St. Louis, to Chicago, and bring a guitar rather than piano. That really influenced blues music because the guitar was way more